Okay, so next speaker is Ruth Namboga Kiwanuka, probably pronounced it very badly. She's the CEO of Jeep Folkecenter Uganda, and over her career, she has executed over 21 projects in 79 districts in Uganda. And I think it's fair to say that you devoted a big part of your life in sustainability and promotion of climate change mitigation systems. So, Ruth, well, Uganda is not officially part of the Green Wall Initiative, but despite that, you're still running activities which are going in that direction. So, yeah, please tell us a little bit more about your activities.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm happy to be part of this today. And as Paul, the African Union coordinator, has mentioned, Uganda will soon be on board due to the reason is Paul, or Jeep Paul, as mentioned. Yes, this is Joint Energy and Environment Projects. That's why we say Jeep, abbreviation. And it was founded in 1983. So it is a 41 years old non-government organization. The area of Uganda is 241,038 square kilometers, and the population is 45.85 million people. That is by 2021. And our population grows at the rate of 3.2%, which is really high. And in Uganda, the environment status, we have the equatorial tropical rainforest, savanna, whatever, vegetation, as you can see, and the savanna grasslands cover most of Uganda, but vary in different regions depending on the altitude and temperatures. We have, due to the high population and all that, but we are still greatly depending on biomass, and Uganda's forest cover has reduced by 13%. That is from 2001 to 2022. So Uganda has lost 1.03 million hectares of tree cover. This organization, which is a typical local organization, was founded by Ugandans in that year, 1983, and the vision was safe environment for a sure future. Our mission is to stop environment degradation and promote efficient management of natural resources. Those three people you are seeing are the founders of Jeep. One on the my left, that is Sylvester Sentamu. In fact, he's the one who started Jeep. He was a coordinator after they founded this organization. Waluria Mukasa in the middle, and a lady, at least it was gender balanced, Mrs. Teresa Mzira. These people came up with those visions, I said, a safe environment for sure future, and their mission by that time. Unfortunately, Uganda, by that time, we had civil wars, so they could not operate well. But still, secretly, hiding somewhere, they were trying to organize themselves to see that they help Ugandans to become environmentally friendly people and sustain their environment, though using it very much. They came up with a program in a tree, which you can see. And that tree shows the major problems these people found, and these problems, they based it on what they had heard from Ethiopia, where they had lost a lot of vegetation or green, and people were really dying. So they quickly wanted to come and start with this to help Ugandans not to run into the same problem. So they looked at the way we cook. I said biomass, we are at around 85 to 90% depending on biomass. You can imagine how much tree cover is destroyed. So with the number one branch, they looked at the way we cook domestically and institutionally, and they say improve on the stoves used so that we could reduce on the usage of biomass. Number two, they looked at the improved wood burning industries. We have small, tiny industries in the communities where they are making bricks, they are smoking fish everywhere. They brew a very strong drink, which is like a schnapps in Denmark and whatever, Sweden and others. Very strong, but it could be locally done, but they use a lot of wood. And number three, they looked at the way people produce charcoal traditionally, and they thought there should be some improvement on the cleanliness, so that instead of cutting 10 tons of wood and you just get 1 ton of charcoal and the rest is burned to ash, they thought the cleanliness could be improved upon and improve on that. Then number four, they looked at the alternatives, because when you stop people from using APC, then you try to give them some alternatives. And these people thought using briquettes, sawdust, biogas, solar, I think they had to put electricity, but by then it was a very small percentage of electricity being used for cooking. So those could be alternatives, again, to reduce on the cutting of trees and vegetation in the name of fuel or wood. And finally, number five, the branch number five, they thought they could mention this, but by that time, of course, we had a lot of forests, a lot of trees everywhere. Even households had a lot of trees in their gardens. The natural forests were really many, big and thick. And they thought telling people tree planting would not mean much because they could see a lot of trees, not looking in at the future that they will be deleted, they will be cut down, they will be used in various ways. So they said tree planting could be the last there, but very, very important to replace what is being taken away and to have actual green country. But the main task of these people when they are coming up with this organization, and which we are still following, is to create awareness to the people. Very many people have grown up not knowing much about environment conservation. Climate change is now a new term, which they still don't understand. Even some leaders are not even talking about it. They don't seem to know. I don't know whether they don't seem to be concerned, but it is very, very important. So JIP, together with the ministries, working together with the Ministry of Water and Environment, collaborating, especially about the projects we are running, because all our projects we are running are part of the Ministry of Water and Environment. That's their work. We are supplementing. And we have Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, which is also promoting sustainable and market orientation of agricultural production, food security and house. All that, still environment is a key. And the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, this is a key. And together we collaborate to look at the technologies which could be produced and promoted to reduce on the consumption of wood and other materials. So some of the means of trying to follow that branch number 5, many institutions like Uganda Kingdom, we have kingdoms here, and that's our kingdom in the central. The kingdom has made it mandatory in custom marriages that the groom's family must take a minimum of seedlings to the family of the bride for growing in order to preserve the indigenous species and conserve the environment. So that the more the marriages, the more trees are planted. And then JIP fights with the NGOs and private sector organizations to promote tree growing and protecting the remaining natural forests, for example, fighting the protection of one of the natural forests which is being attacked by people who seem to be understanding the environment. There's a lot of campaign to see that we save such forests. Those are some of the activities still. Energy. You can see the solar boxes, you can see the exhibition. We always hold exhibitions, especially on World Environment Day, June 5th. And we invite very, very many people, or we work together with the government to the main venue so that people get to know, understand what to do with the environment. How do you conserve? How do you save it? It's not a matter of planting trees alone, but if you use technologies, as you can see in the picture, there are baskets and others, using solar, you are adding to the conservation of the environment. So we do a lot of capacity building, we do a lot of training people in these kind of technologies, tree planting inclusive, to see that we really get our country back to green. And in the corner, those are our partners, the people we collaborate with, and I think we should soon get more. As I said, the tree program, awareness creation. All those you are seeing, it is to create awareness to the people in different communities. Uganda has a very high population, and it has many villages and communities and many tribes. So we have 52 languages in the country. So when we move, we need to see that we collaborate with the people, we talk to them, and we use the local people over there to translate. We don't hope to learn those very many languages, but we do it and practically got on well. So, because we take tree planting as something very important due to those problems I've mentioned, we have what we call tree growing formula. And we also have applied for restoration of a forest in the northeast called Amuria. Those are some of the trees. It was completely down. And the community were not expecting to have it back. But JIP, together with those people over there, created awareness and made sure that together we shall restore the forest, as you see. And whenever we are with people, talking to them, in the community, some have gone to school, others have not. But that formula helps us very much when we ask who should plant trees in Uganda. And this formula can work everywhere. Who can plant trees in Burkina Faso or Denmark, wherever. And that question is pointing to each one to think who. In fact, most of them say the government. But when we go deeper, we say then the government cannot come and plant trees in your community, in your home, in your household area. Then they would know it is me, Ruth, it is me, Lisa, it is me, Daniel, to plant the trees. And the next question is very important. Why? This is where everybody has to discuss the purposes of planting trees. Why do we need the trees? What are the reasons? And these are so many. when we mention together some 40 or more, then they start realizing, oh, really, we need to plant trees because of these so many. And of course, they always start with cooking, fuel wood. So you need to plant, building, and there are so many others. Then we have to know that also get which kind of trees. One should know that if I need for timber, then you plant those. If you want for fruits, or all of them, but you should know why, which trees, and where do you plant them? That's the next question. If you have for timber, you can't put them in the compound. The compound you would put there ornamental or flowers and all that. If you want for fence, definitely the fence. If you want those eucalyptus which consume a lot of water from the soil, then you take far away from your food crops, but you can still earn and get money. And how do we plant? Many people, apart from those of a very long time back generations, they don't know how to plant trees. So this is where we help them, knowing that how do we plant a tree? If it's a very big tree, you need a big hole and big space. If they are small, then smaller space, smaller hole. And how else do you plant trees? You can have a nursery, establish a nursery, so that when it is hot, you have the nursery in a smaller place, you are watering it, and when it is wet, then you can transfer all these seedlings to a bigger field, and many other things. And the last question is, what next? That is to take care of the tree. Otherwise, they die like people because they have life. Nursery establishment and tree growing, as you see, those people are establishing nurseries in the communities where we have training done, and later we go to see how they move on. Still, this is one of the places. Karamoja is the extreme northeast, very dry spells, long dry spells. But when we were there with FAO, we tried to show them what to do, planting trees and getting firewood and trees for building. And they use a lot of trees for their house fences, for security. And we tried to show them that instead of cutting, you can use a live fence. So we left some people starting planting seedlings and getting live fence, which would save a lot of trees instead of cutting all for the fence. The people, women here and men are trained on the conservation, energy saving technologies. Those are the basket which can cook food or store food, where to keep it hot. They are learning how to make it. The materials are locally available, and they have to use, together with the energy saving soaps in the corner. The one woman is using an energy saving soap, which consumes very little firewood, pieces of firewood, and putting food in the basket to save on further usage of firewood. Biogas is another way, alternative, as I mentioned on number 4 on the tree, for cooking. We have started this and creating awareness and helping people, those who can afford to get animals like cattle, to get biogas. We also use it here at JIP to show people that it really works. People want to prove when they see something in use. Yes, the last is the climate action for improved and sustainable livelihood. This is a project in the north. Again, this is a place which is really dry, with long spells, dry seasons. And this is where we are trying to make this district a model district in climate mitigation measures and a built-up community resilience, accessibility to environmentally friendly solutions, advocacy solutions, and so on. And we are majorly targeting youth and women. Of course, men, not so much, but sometimes they think they know, but they end up degrading the environment. So we include them to try to mitigate the climate change. Yes, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ruth. And I've included a link to the Folkecenter page where we have the material about Kyle's project, so that if people are interested, they can, of course, visit it. Do we have any question from the audience? Yeah, Anna?
Sorry.
Yeah. Anna and then Lisa.
I'll just go ahead and speak. I'll just have a comment that it seems that even if you have trees and it's not a completely arid country, there's still really good reasons to learn from this Green Wall project. There's so much to learn from the project. It's quite amazing. Thank you for a very, very nice presentation.
So, Anna?
Ruth, that was a fantastic presentation, very powerful. And okay, even if Uganda is not part of this huge initiative, but you're doing it your own way, and it's fantastic. I cannot believe it. Congratulations also. It sounds really great. I have two small questions, very small. First one is this thing about women. Do you think that through planting the trees and taking care of this, of all the nature you have, and actually creating new worlds which are more green, do you think that women feel more empowered and they feel stronger, and then they can have like more sense of power, well, empowerment? That's question number one. And second, is this biogas installation, like a very small scale, is it working good? Is it really? Because I would love to have one, but is it okay? Is it good?
Okay, thank you, Anna. Women empowerment is very, very important, because for any critical conditions, the women suffer most. And the culture long ago was not allowing women to go to school. So they've been denied that knowledge at school. Then they are given the whole load of the domestic work management, which includes food, caring of children, getting water, so many, taking care of children, including their husband, the big man. So they need empowerment, and we are struggling very much. I'm happy that the government is also struggling to make sure that any woman who starts a small business is helped to move on, so that the woman is strong, getting her own money, can stand on her own to manage some of these problems. And with us in environment, we encourage them to do these technologies and market them to get some money. And I mean, make life easier. If one has a stove which is saving energy, that woman is not so much frequently in the forest or looking for firewood with the girls. And we are trying to explain to the men who discuss together that some of the culture was put in place to favor men. So it is high time now we share these roles and reducing those heavy, serious cultures which oppress the women. So Anna, it is so important that the women should be empowered. They should be empowered economically, socially, so that they can talk with like I'm talking. I think any man cannot press me down or press me, because I can fight for myself. But we are trying to do this in the communities where we go, so that they move on. Though we are doing environment projects, the technologies we are applying, the women should come up. We are encouraging them to come up. If she manages a nursery, a tree nursery, she can sell seedlings. But unfortunately, they are not very much in land ownership. It has always been the man owning. So it has reduced the speed of the women planting trees of their own, because the man will say, now those are mine because it's my land. And we are now discussing that to see that if the women get money, they can also buy land. But the men should now understand that the climate mitigation is a role for all, by all. Yeah. And finally, biogas. Yes, biogas was also on the tree number for alternatives. We didn't go so much into that, but this time we are strongly going into it because it's really renewable, you know. One can use it to cook and even to get light. It is starting this bigger scale, and we hope for the best. And the other NGOs, organizations which are carrying out this are also in the country. But as JIP, we are also pushing hard to see that people get it right and can use it, where even electricity might not be there even in the next 40 years.
Thanks, Ruth. And Elvis had a question.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. I see your name is Paul. I know it might be just the person that opened the Zoom for you. Yes.
No, you Paul, that Paul is my colleague here. My
Exactly.
laptop is kaput.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
I am.
Ruth, yeah. So thanks so much for that presentation. I think there's lots of innovation and a lot of efforts that you're doing that is very interesting, especially look at the renewable energy, the biofuel, you know, it's huge. It's a very, you're doing a lot. So I think me is more of a comment to Uganda. I don't know, Uganda have been very elusive. I've been to Kampala once, but I've never really explored what is happening in Uganda in terms of, you know, all of these sustainable management, resource management initiative. So I think from this one, I will get you a contact, and maybe Uganda is just less than 1 hour, 30 minutes from Addis Ababa. You can go in the morning and come back in the evening. So I would like to stay in touch with you, and maybe your organization can be the one that will push the government into taking action, because in some places we use the CSOs, the non-state actors, to push, you know, and I think you have, I would believe you have the capacity and the network in the government to call their attention and your local elected members on the need for Uganda to come on board. It's not a magic stick, but what it does is, what we do is we engage so much with our policymakers. We engage with the heads of state. We talk with them. I meet the presidents at least twice a year, and I tell them, your country is not working, it's working. You know, so I think you will be very interested to talk with you further on how to push for Uganda, and why not South Sudan coming on board the Great Green Wall. Yeah, thank you so much for what you are doing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's great to see that via this webinar we can push new cooperations and bring this initiative further. Do we have any other question from the audience?
I'd like to give a comment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little. If you can come closer to the microphone.
I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I just need to know.
Otherwise, you can just write it in the chat, because you sound very far away.
I just want to congratulate you on this initiative. I've been very much involved very, very happy to be of such an initiative. If I can help in promoting or whatever, you let me know. This is really close to my heart. So thank you very much.
So if I understood correctly, you're basically offering your help for promoting the initiative, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Then maybe you can leave your contact in the chat. So then those who want to interact with you further, then they have somewhere to start with.
Thank you. And sorry for the difficulty. I worked 21 hours of power yesterday. That's what it does on the person.
Yeah,
I'll be there for that.
no problem. Any other question?
I just have a quick comment on Ruth's presentation and Elvis's question in citation afterwards, because it seems like Jeep's tree planting formula seems very valuable, especially in regards to the initiative. So I just want to say that I really hope that you'll have the chance to engage in the initiative, because as Elvis Paul, I think it would be great to engage more African countries in the cooperation on compensating for the climate changes. Thank you.
Yeah, and basically, if we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 17 is partnership for the goals. So you don't get anywhere if you don't act with other people.
Yeah.
Pasco, you have a question?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ruth, for your presentation. Yes, it's quite some great work you're doing in northern Uganda for the project you're currently implementing. Maybe my inquiry, me, I'm from Bioecosystem Conservation and Development Agency. We are young people, and we are based in Western Uganda. Okay, I'm trying to check out if there are some possibility for partnership, and maybe you could extend that some of the activities, especially in biogas, because we have had some programs of which we have some energy. We have some climate smart agriculture program, but we needed in partners who could come in and maybe supplement, especially in the part of biogas. So I don't know which partnership priorities or opportunities are open, especially when you're working with young people. Thank you.
Pasco, thank you very much. That's wonderful. And partnering with you is very, very much welcome. As you are in this same country, we shall talk further about our partnership. Then biogas, when we partnered up with Systema Bio, it is a company also which is working here and also in Kenya. They are already in the Western Uganda. We shall share the contact and you see where exactly they are, then you talk more. If you don't get them, then come back to us. You can check on our website and see our contacts and all that. Then it will help. Otherwise, they are there. And for JIP, we are moving into a different direction, especially in the central. And yeah. Yes.
Thank you. And his contact, it's in the chat. It's if you scroll a little up, you can find the mail there. Any other question for Ruth or for all the speakers? We can now open the question part for everyone. So I have a question for all three of you, actually. And so if we look at the goals for the Great Green Wall Initiative, they are quite ambitious, as they should be. Now, what is needed in your opinion so that these goals are reached? And whoever of the three can start. The question is for all three.
Daniel, come again. What's the question?
So if we look at the goals for the Great Green Wall Initiative, and now I'm reading from the UN page. So it's 100 million hectares of degraded land being restored, 250 million tons of CO2 sequestered, 10 million jobs being created, and 8,000 kilometers of natural shelter, basically. And this is by 2030. And of course, there are different speeds among the different countries because of different situations. So what do you think, in your opinion, is needed so that we can get closer and closer to these goals? And you can answer from your country perspective, of course. What is needed so that we can push these initiatives or similar ones to a higher speed?
Yes, to me, JIP, Uganda, I think being an NGO, non-government organization, an NGO, we are really small compared to the country's size. But I think with our initiatives, which we are carrying on and more to come in, we need to collaborate and work together with the government. I say that we are collaborating with the Ministry of Water and Environment, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Agriculture, but we need a very strong ties to make sure that we all move into this. In fact, the government is supposed to push this forward very, very much. And if an NGO like JIP comes up to push, of course, they will just say, what about this? But we can push the government, I mean, those ministries are government, to see that they go into this, that Uganda can also be part of this to achieve those goals. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you.
Does it make any sense?
Yes, of course. Elvis? Elvis, are you still there? Or Ibrahim, whoever wants to go first.
Thank you. Yeah. Wait. Thank you, Daniel. So it's a very good question. I think it is an ambitious goal as Elvis presented, but it's also, you know, Africa is a big continent. Is also a lot of challenges, and I think what is needed is that we understood as a citizen of this world from the south and north that to tackle climate change in one side, it doesn't mean that, you know, it's far away from us, from Africa, we are living here, or from you, from Europe. I think it's a kind of global actions. And like he pointed out correctly, organizing one football World Cup is almost, you know, 7 times as expensive as, you know, restoring 100 million hectares. So that's your, and then 100 million hectares restoration will have a great impact on the global climate, you know, and which will be beneficial to all the world. So to Europe, to America, to Africa, and so on. So I think it's really that kind of what Folkecenter is organizing here, that we should multiply this in order to really sensitize policymakers, local NGOs from south, from north, private sectors, to embark everyone and to support this type of initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Elvis, are you there? Doesn't look like. Okay. Well, so is there any other question from the audience? Neil, sorry, Lisa?
I'm just thinking that I want to know how I can join. But since I'm not in an African country, maybe they should open up a. Maybe this is for the Folkecenters in African countries, or some. Maybe there should be a Great Green Wall Folkecenter that people can support. I don't know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that Ecosia, the green, basically the green alternative to Google, it is actually putting money in some countries involved in the Green Wall initiative. It was I read it somewhere on the page of the initiative that they contributed quite a lot with money in that direction. So that could be a way just to find organizations who are involved in this part and financing that part. That would be my easiest guess.
It would be interesting if Elvis or Ibrahim could say we have already good connections to some of these, so that we know that the money goes to those who are at the front of the development, or maybe they have options to support education, options to support planting. I don't know. That would be interesting to follow up on. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Elisa, that's an important point. I think for me, it will be so interesting. This Green Wall is a big initiative, but I think, of course, Elvis is here, but they need also support of civil society and from places like Denmark or Nordic countries, and really they need a lobby, they need a kind of awareness raising, and in order to really fulfill the objectives. Is what we are trying to do also here, to really towards our authorities to really support this and push this. I think if organization like a Danish Folkecenter or like many organizations in Nordic country could do, that would be really great. Thank you.
Any other question? Doesn't look like. Okay, then I would first of all, I would like to thank the speakers. You have been really insightful, and we hope this is just the beginning of further cooperations, especially that we can have Uganda on board the Great Green Wall Initiative because of JIP and because of this webinar. That would be a huge achievement. Let me just take, well, first of all, let's take the picture again. Now you know how it works. I would recommend all those who are more in one computer. Yes, exactly, Ibrahim. All together. And so you should get, for those of you who haven't seen it before, you will get a notification. And then when you press, you're basically taking a picture. And I will launch it now.
Hey, allow. One. Daniel, are we there?
Yes. Hopefully, yes. It looks like. So I will download it now for safety. Just a moment. Yes. Perfect. So before we, okay, that it's in place. I just let me share the screen a moment because we have a couple of things we would like to show you as well. So can you see my screen? Yes, right. So this is our next events. So we have for our Danish audience, we have a meeting of some future EU parliamentaries in Folkecenter, and that will be on the 6th of June. Then you can just go on the Folkecenter event page and register or find out more information. And then another event that I would highly recommend you, it's the final conference of Poesie, which is a project we have been running for the last 2 years. And the reason why I'm saying that is because during this webinar, the world's agroforestry, climate smart agriculture, sustainable agriculture, energy and agriculture have appeared several times. And as part of this project, we have created some modules, some online courses, which can promote the knowledge on these topics. And these courses will be for free. So during the conference, we will present the platform, we will present the courses. So it is a very good chance to get familiar with this material and share it also among your network. So that was...
Looking forward to come to Denmark, Daniel.
Yes, exactly. And Marcus is also part of the project. That's actually thanks to him we are in the project. So yeah, I highly recommend that you can join. You can join online as well. So that's you just need to register on the page. I will put the link now in the chat and then also send a mail to everyone about that. And then one last thing, we have prepared a short evaluation survey that you also find now in the chat. It would be great if you could fill it. It's just 1 minute. Then we know how has it been the experience, what can we make better, and what should we focus on next time. And meanwhile you do that, I would also like to give a huge thank you to the hidden team, the ones who have done all the work of the organization. So that's Anna, Pernille, Mary, Paul, and Lisa. And without these people, this webinar would have not been so easy to organize. So a huge thanks to you. So
thank you for a very nice interesting 2 hours and contributions from everybody. It's great to follow.
And Anna, you want to say something?
We can also write them directly and ask for it.
Merci beaucoup, Daniel. Merci, merci à toute l'équipe du Folkecenter. Merci.
And also thanks to the whole Jeep and Mali Folkecenter team, all the people who are not in the room. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Merci. Take care. Bye bye.
And thank you for sharing firsthand what you're doing. That we don't have other people talking about the people who do things, but you say what you do, not some.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Inspiring.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you,
Ruth.
Anna.
Very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you so much.